When you think of iconic superhero costume changes, Spider-Man's black suit ranks right at the top. But what many fans don't realize is that this sleek, mysterious costume represents one of the most fascinating and complex stories in comic book history. Today, we're diving deep into the real story behind Spidey's black suit, from its surprising origin as a fan submission to how it changed Marvel Comics forever and spawned one of Spider-Man's greatest villains. Before we dive into the suit's debut, here's something that'll blow your mind. The black suit wasn't created by Marvel's writers or artists. In 1982, a 22-year-old Marvel fan named Randy Schueller sent Marvel a letter suggesting a new black costume for Spider-Man. He imagined a stealth suit created by Reed Richards using unstable molecules. Marvel not only liked the idea, they bought it from him for $220. While the final version would be very different from Schueller's initial concept, this fan submission would eventually lead to one of the most significant changes in Spider-Man's history. The black suit made its first full appearance in the Amazing Spider-Man hash 252 in 1984, but the story of how Spider-Man got the suit was actually told a few months later in Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars hash 8. This massive crossover event saw heroes and villains transported to a distant world called Battle World by the enigmatic Beyonder. After damaging his classic red and blue costume in battle, Peter discovers a mysterious black sphere that transforms into his new suit when touched. What makes this origin particularly interesting is that it was actually a bit of creative reverse engineering. The black suit was introduced in Amazing Spider-Man first because Marvel wanted to capitalize on the design's appeal immediately, but they needed to explain where it came from. Secret Wars provided the perfect opportunity to tell that origin story, even though readers saw the results before they saw the cause. At first, Peter thinks he's just got an awesome new alien costume that responds to his thoughts, repairs itself, and can generate its own webbing. Pretty sweet deal, right? But things start getting weird. The suit begins taking him out on nighttime prowls while he's sleeping. He feels more aggressive, more powerful, but also more exhausted. Something clearly isn't right with this new outfit. This is where the genius of the storytelling really shines. Writers like Tom DeFalco and artists like Ron Frenz started dropping subtle hints that something was off. The costume would act independently in small ways. A tendril here, a reaction there. It built up slowly, creating a sense of creeping horror as readers realized alongside Peter that something was seriously wrong with this suit. Everything comes to a head in one of the most iconic scenes in comic history. After Reed Richards reveals that the suit is actually a living alien symbiote trying to permanently bond with him, Spider-Man retreats to a church bell tower to try to remove it. The combination of the church bell's sonic vibrations and Peter's sheer force of will finally forces the symbiote to separate from him. This scene, particularly in Web of Spider-Man hash 1, is masterfully crafted. The pain of separation, both physical and emotional, is palpable. What's particularly fascinating about this sequence is how it plays with the imagery of sin, temptation, and redemption. The black suit represented power without responsibility. Everything Peter Parker had fought against since learning his greatest lesson from Uncle Ben. The church setting, the bells, the internal struggle, it all creates a powerful metaphor for rejecting temptation and choosing the harder but more righteous path. But the story doesn't end with Peter rejecting the symbiote. In fact, you could say that's where the real story begins. The symbiote, feeling rejected and angry, finds Eddie Brock, a journalist whose career was ruined by Spider-Man. Their shared hatred of Parker creates a bond that transforms them into one of Spider-Man's most formidable enemies, Venom. What makes this development so brilliant is how it takes everything we learned about the symbiote's capabilities with Spider-Man and turns them against him. The suit knows all of Peter's secrets, his fighting moves, even how his spider sense works. In Brock, it found a host physically stronger than Parker and driven by pure hatred. This created a villain who wasn't just physically threatening, but psychologically terrifying, and dark mirror of Spider-Man himself. The Black Suit Saga changed comics in ways that resonated far beyond Spider-Man's own titles. It introduced the concept of symbiotes to the Marvel Universe, leading to characters like Carnage, Toxin, and many others. The storyline showed how a costume change could be more than just a marketing gimmick. It could be the foundation for deep character development and lasting consequences. The influence of this storyline can be seen in countless comics, movies, and TV shows since. The idea of a hero's costume being a source of corruption or temptation has been repeated many times, but rarely with the same impact as the original Black Suit Saga. From the Venom movies to appearances in various Spider-Man cartoons and games, the legacy of the black suit continues to captivate audiences. What's particularly interesting is how many different creators had a hand in making the story work. Editor Jim Shooter helped develop the initial concept for Secret Wars. Artists Mike Zeck and Rick Leonardi designed different aspects of the costume. Writers like DeFalco, Roger Stern, and Louise Simonson all contributed to developing the symbiote's true nature. It was a collaborative effort that showed Marvel's creative teams at their best. The suit's design itself was revolutionary, simple yet striking, with the huge white spider symbol creating an instantly iconic look. It worked both as a sleek superhero costume and later as a terrifying villain design. The fact that it could shift and change while still maintaining its basic appearance added a whole new dimension to how artists could depict it. Today, the black suit remains one of the most beloved alternate costumes in comic history. Even after the symbiote storyline, Peter would occasionally wear a non-living version of the black suit, showing how popular the design remained with both creators and fans. The success of the storyline also showed that major changes to iconic characters could work if done with proper care and creativity. The story also demonstrated comics' ability to tell sophisticated horror stories within a superhero context. The body horror aspects of the symbiote, the psychological manipulation, the addiction metaphor, all of these elements added layers of meaning to what could have been just another costume change. The story of Spider-Man's black suit is more than just a tale of a costume change or the origin of a villain. It's a testament to the creative possibilities of comics, showing how a fan's idea could evolve into a storyline that would influence decades of stories across multiple media. It's about temptation, power, and responsibility, themes that have always been at the heart of Spider-Man's story, explored in a new and compelling way. Next time you see the black suit, whether in comics, movies, or games, remember that you're looking at something that started as a fan's idea and became one of the most important storylines in comic book history. It's a reminder that sometimes the best stories come from the simplest beginnings. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into comic book history. Let me know in the comments what other iconic comic moments you'd like to learn more about. Until next time.